Great. 2 minutes past 7 a.m. Good morning. It's Tuesday. The date is 21st of October 2025. We are slowly coming to the end of the year, by the way. Yeah. But even much as we're still talking about that, we're still in the window, the 7-day window period of mourning the late Prime Minister Raila Odinga. And that is happening across the country. And we'll have all the flags flying at half-mast. Welcome to the program. I'll be having that discussion. I just want to take a look at really what is happening and politics beyond Raila Odinga. That is what I want to talk about. Whether Raila's voice has left the stage or not. I want us to talk about that and much more. I have Honorable Francis Mwangangi. He is not new to Jerusalem. He is the Deputy Governor of Machakos County. Mheshimiwa, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Karibu sana. And Dr. Peter Mbaye is a Secretary, Planning and Economic Affairs, DCP Party. Daktari.
Very good morning. Good morning to you.
Good to see you.
Very well.
Asante sana.
Here I am.
And of course, Gilbert Awino is the strategic communications expert. He's also a lawyer. Wakili, good morning.
Good morning.
Uko salama sana, umepotea sana.
Nice to see you.
Karibu, karibu. But the gentleman who is completely lost, more than you, is Michael Muya. I don't know where he went to. Karibu sana.
Asante.
Good to see you. Gentlemen, thank you so much for taking your time to join us. It's been a very tough week for all of us. It doesn't matter which political wing we are in, but once a person of Raila's stature leaves the stage, all of us have to feel it in one way or another. Let me start with you, Mike, and in your own way, on national television, perhaps you can just tell us in 30 seconds how the week has been for you.
Well, the week has been quite tough.
Yeah.
He was one of the very greatest leaders in this country, not only in Kenya, but almost the whole of Africa. Raila was a great leader, well respected, and really meant very good for this country and also Africa at large. Raila, personally, as a politician, he has touched me in so many ways. I think I've supported him 3 times. When he was running for presidency, because I believed in values and what the ideas he had about this country. He was such a strong leader and more so related to using the country resources to do good for this country and for the Kenyan citizens. Yeah.
Okay. Daktari, what's your take on that as well? I mean, in the political scene, probably there are many moments you learned one thing or the other from him. But how has the week been for you since last week when the news broke out?
Yeah, this has been a very, very, very tough moment for myself as a person and of course the whole country. For me, I have started Raila Odinga in all my studies of political science at the university here. Really, he was such an institution. And even the people who maybe never voted for him or never liked him, were never in the same political position with him, they had this love and respect for Raila. Actually, I want to say this today. I would have personally loved Raila to be around for another many years, just to be around, you know. Not necessarily because you are supporting him, but just him being there. Because there's something that Raila was doing. Now, listen to this, Vic. Somebody who has run for president, he doesn't win, but he gets himself there, and the current president literally goes begging for him. Now, that's an institution. That is somebody who needs to be studied in a certain way. So Raila was not just anybody, and that's why you see, after everything is done, maybe with all the issues about surrounding his winning and losing of elections, he becomes only the other man to qualify for a state funeral with full military honors, besides all the sitting presidents who have been there, from Jomo Kenyatta to Moi Kibaki, to Moi, and now to him. He become only the other one man to enjoy state funeral with full military. Of course, besides Ogora and others, because he has rode at that level of a president actually. I don't want to say the president who never had, because the issue of whether he was supposed to become a president is another story. Because again, I don't have something from Supreme Court saying he won and he was not sworn in. But Raila as a person has left, and it will take this country many years. The person by which Raila as a man who was straddling both opposition and getting to government 4 times, literally, presidents prostrating themselves saying, I can no longer proceed without Raila. That alone is something that we must celebrate. The only issue I can say is not good manners in Africa. let's not go over celebrating someone who we were the first people to verify when they were alive. That is hypocrisy. I don't believe in that. Don't go dishing out stuff for hours when somebody has died. Please, let's stop that a bit. Be genuine. I mean, you know, maybe you didn't agree with Raila. Mourn and mourn like an African. You can even decide to mourn silently. Like what Rigathi Gachagua did. You can decide to mourn silently. You don't have to go now begin drumming up and saying, you know, no, you don't have to. Come and dish out accolades and everything. And then I'm saying, some of the people, you remember Winnie Madera death? You remember that speech by Marema? He was trying to say, the people who did A, B, C, D to you are the ones here who are coming to Bari. To tell us how to mourn. Tell us how to relate with them. I was expecting the people who literally verified the data knowingly. You know, you can do a political match, and maybe somebody say it was political. The people who verified Raila calling him Muganga, Mutia Kumua Leli, the road of poverty, they could, I was thinking, because the locals knew this is a man who did ABCD. To just come and say, by the way, some of us have said very bad words about Raila when he was alive. We took it to we stretched it a bit, and we caused a national, hate campaign. Okay. We say sorry as we move on. That one would have healed many, many hearts, and we hope that by God's grace, those hearts will still be healed over time. But I like some honesty even around death. Let's have some honesty around death.
Hold that, Gilbert.
Yeah. Thank you very much. It's been a tough week because we started hearing the news of Raila's ailment, and it was treated as a social media excitement. And it came to pass that Raila was no more, and he passed in quite sudden, in a manner in which he died. He didn't die in ICU. He died doing exercise. And by Winnie's account, that morning he did 5 laps of his morning ritual, as opposed to the 1 or 2 that he used to do. If there is anyone who ever doubted Raila's popularity across the Republic, then his death has confirmed that, perhaps to disagree with Daktari, I think his death confirmed that the elections in Kenya that Raila actually won. I was watching social media posts around his death, and anyone across the Republic who dared post anything that was not in tune with the morning of Raila's death, you could see the amount of vitriol that people meted on their direction, that don't you recognize that a national leader has passed on. But beyond that, the hypocrisy around the morning of Raila. Yes, Raila has died, and when death happens, we indeed have to mourn. A person of his stature, we indeed have to mourn him in a manner befitting his political weight. However, I think it has been over-dramatized in the sense that even when we said Raila enjoyed a presidential send-off, he's dead, he's no more, he really doesn't know what is happening to him. So what was given to Raila was actually information that, or perhaps an act of trying to over-persuade or over-win the people the president hopes to inherit. So his funeral, the morning of Raila, in the 72 hours that he had given, came as an advantage to people who have wanted to inherit his political base. I'm saying this because you remember the president, literally it is Mr. Kindiki, I mean Professor Kindiki, who was the master of ceremony in his death. So in other words, even if the president had not given him the presidential send-off, the masses would have buried Raila in a manner that would have actually brought a lot of fear to the government. So what did the government then decide to do? Strategically give him a presidential send-off, but in effect also control the narrative. You could see when it came to political events, Kindiki was literally on the mic telling you stop. And the people who are not, perhaps people who are viewed to be anti-government, didn't get the opportunity to speak. Raila's friends, people who have been with him over the years, did not get the opportunity to speak to him. Honorable Kalonzo has been with Raila for all the elections that have been held. He has stood by Raila as his deputy president. He was there. He cut his safari from wherever in UK and came back to mourn Raila. He did not over-dramatize his friendship with Raila. He basically went there to pay his last respect and went back. But the people who have called him a Moganga, who have called him a voodoo, and became, for example, let me just say, the president actually since 2010, for the last 15 years has not been, Raila has not been his favorite. And in fact, the words that he used against Raila, actually in terms of the scale, he scored 98% in giving Raila negative publicity. Until last year, 2024, when Gen Z happened and Raila stabilized as his government. So I really would wish to say that Raila's death came, and we have seen the hypocrisy around mourning for personal and private interests.
All right.
Yeah.
Before I come to the Deputy Governor, let me take you through the front page of the Star newspaper very quickly. Ruto to craft new power plan upon Raila exit. Ruto, that's on the front page. Ruto to craft new power plan upon Raila exit. Okay. And who are the 5 characters on the front page? We have got Deputy President, Professor Kindiki. We have got Prime Cabinet Secretary, Mudavadi. And we have got Gladys Wanga, Governor of Homa Bay, and of course, Mining and Blue Economy, CS Hassan Joho, and the president taking the bigger part of the front page. And now it's all about that his best bet is to lock Rift Valley vote 100%, giving him head start of 3 million votes. That is now what the Star can report. But DG, I don't know whether you shared a podium or parliament with the former Prime Minister, did you?
No.
No. But at one point or another, you shared a podium.
Yes, several times.
Several times.
Yes.
Perhaps what did you, politics aside, but what did you learn from him as an individual, as a personality, or as a politician, as a leader? What did you learn from him?
Fairness.
Fairness.
Yes.
Expound on that kindly.
First and foremost, allow me to also join my colleagues and say, not only the family, not only the Kenyan family, the continent has lost. And I believe strongly the world has also lost in the death of Raila Odinga. All of us, at one time, we will have to exit this world. But this of Raila Odinga, I think it was highly unexpected, although God works in miraculous ways. For the better part of Kalonzo being with the Raila, the region I come from has been of great support to the former Prime Minister. I want to make something very clear. In Parliament, I participated in changing the law concerning the retirement of former presidents. And we included former prime ministers and vice presidents. So the issue of state funeral, maybe there was some additionals like participation of the military and such, but it is in the law. Raila was entitled. So I wonder what is all this I'm seeing from some older politicians. It is a dictate that in the event a former prime minister, in the event a former vice president or a deputy president for that matter, passes on, that one is given the state funeral by the state. It is Kenyan money. It is Kenyan government that is dictated to do what it did. The lesson. Raila Odinga, and I will give a case. One time we in the parliament, we were handling a case of picking the first Nakada chair, who is supposed to be vetted by the parliament and appointed by the president. So we had a challenge, and around that time, I had never in my life ever talked or interacted with the Prime Minister Raila Odinga. And I remember we were somewhere in one of the Nairobi hotels trying to deliberate. And then I saw a call, because in that committee, I would try, let me be very honest, I was trying to oppose the chair that was being fronted then. And I had a reason. The law was very clear. In the event there is 1, 2, 3, that candidate is not suitable. We had gotten a report through government institutions that there were too few challenges with the candidate that was being fronted. And then I led some colleagues in rejecting the name. So during tea break, I saw a call. Actually, it was through Truecaller that I learned this is the former Prime Minister. And I called back. We discussed. That was then. That was my first encounter with the late Prime Minister. And
yes.
It is not personal, I will say. We knew each other so much at personal level. I think, but from what I learned, is one person who wanted fairness for humanity. Is one person who did not want any area of this country to be segregated. I'm sure if he was the president of Kenya, what we saw during Gen Z's uprising, maybe we will see some people being prosecuted but not slaughtered, not being killed, not being abducted. That will not be seen. I'm sure out of that fairness, I'm sure if Raila was the president of Kenya, devolution will not be in the state that it is today, because it's one person in his quest for fairness for the country. He wanted every area to be developed. Today, go to any border of this country, compare the other side, just name at random. Go to any border between Kenya and any country today. See the other side and see the side of Kenya, and you compare. And that is the fairness I'm talking about. Yeah. Fairness to humanity, fairness to equal and equality in the distribution of resources of this country, fairness in appointments. And one person who spoke strongly against tribalism and nepotism, because that is what has killed this country. When it comes to corruption, every Kenyan today, young, old, middle-aged, know the stand of Raila when it comes to corruption in Kenya. Many of us in political office, we are where we are courtesy of looting and corruption, huge corruption. Hence, we buy our way to positions of leadership. So I think I would say he was a true social democrat. And that's why you are seeing so many people across the country. And even the normal people you would not expect. Some are saying, we used to talk to Raila. Raila helped me in this way. Raila called this and this person to connect me to do this. So I think I would just say is a leader who really loved fairness.
Okay. Dr. Mbai, let me ask you this question, and this one goes to all of you. Did we perhaps take Honorable Raila Odinga's position in the society to be so normal that as Kenyans we thought that that was the normal way of life? Then now the moment he's exited, all of a sudden our eyes are opening and saying, wait a minute, something has just happened.
I would say this. First of all, I want to say that Raila lived his life. He came, he lived, he did what he had to do, moved into the detention all the way. I think my recollections of Raila from what I did from history, from 1874, as a lecturer at the university here, moved all the way, got caught up with the 82 issues, moved off like 4 years, then came up with all these issues of parties and get into government. Raila lived his life, and let me tell you, let's be allowing people to live their lives the best way they know how. Let me just repeat that again. Let us be allowing people without judging them, because God is the one who has a compass for somebody's destiny. And the way I am, it's not like you, Vic. There's a way I make calculations. Sometimes I make mistakes, right? Yeah. And we are here to learn. That's why we learn the good things, and then we say, me, I would do differently from ABCD. But I can tell this in a summary. Let Raila lived his life the best way he knew. Me, I wouldn't have any formula of getting into 4 governments. I don't know how anybody does that, right? But he had the formula somehow, and he was able to get the people.
Yeah.
Now, of course, we learn a few lessons. Number one, quickly, I see how the former president is mourning Raila, Uhuru Kenyatta. People are asking, if you loved him that much, why didn't you, when you're in power, make him president? Look, those are the questions as political scientists and as some Kenyans, we're asking ourselves. So that in future, we can say, if you love somebody this much or your power, can you do to someone what?
He did campaign for him.
I'm asking a question.
He did campaign for him.
I asked a question, why didn't you make, the world is making because you had all the power. I'm just saying.
No.
Just
1 minute.
Wait a minute. You have your chance, man. I'm just saying.
But 1 minute.
Allow me.
No president
You
makes
don't
a
cut.
president.
You don't cut.
No.
Don't cut.
We are discussing.
No, let me finish my point. I'm just saying. I'm here as an opinion leader. The next thing we are saying, okay, the other thing we are saying, here you are, you actually read for many years. If you read so many years and you know you really punctured this guy, you really punctured him properly, like 20 years. From 2013 elections, 2017, 2022, there's somebody who punctured Raila properly and made sure that nobody can elect him because he looks filthy. Do you remember during the burial of Dr. Ngaru? Raila almost cried, saying, why do you always do this to me? Why do you always call me those things in Mount Kenya? Yet it is my father who said, there's no independence without Jaramogi, without Uhuru, without the Mzee Jomo Kenyatta. It's me who said Kibaki tosha. Didn't I know Kibaki was a Kikuyu? Because what he was saying, he has been ostracized properly. 2013, 2017. That's what I'm saying. Then, if you did that, and by some chance, some design, you won the elections because it was political, don't then overdo it when he has died. Relax a bit because people know what you did. Me, I hate the hypocrisy. Me, I don't want anybody dancing on my grave like that when I if you didn't like me, just relax.
Are you telling us, we are 4 of us here, you've just given us what was supposed to be done?
No, let me tell you, if you didn't like me, let me put it very clearly, please. If you didn't like me so much, okay, please just don't overdo it. Just say, I send my condolences and relax. Don't overdo it. Give me honors when you know the damage you did. So I'm answering your question of why do we over-celebrate somebody who we knew? It's not people have discovered like that today. No. People, especially those leaders seated there, on that front place, during that Laila's burial, they knew who Laila was. But because they feared him, you remember the Laila mania? Laila phobia. So they dealt with him like an enemy, so they don't over-celebrate. Just say, God has done his will. Life and death is in the house of God, and let him go.
Muya want to say something.
Yeah, to some extent, I agree with you, but on another extent, I don't agree with you. First and foremost, no president makes a president. This is a democratic country. A president is elected by Kenyans.
But you know what I mean.
No, let me finish. A president is elected. Uhuru did his level best. Okay, let's agree. Politics are about yourself, and there is no number 2 in politics. If Uhuru disagreed with Raila, they disagreed around the time Raila was running against him. And he had to do his best to win his election, democratic, and convince Kenyans to vote for him. And Raila also had to do his part. And if you listen very well to Raila, he said, Uhuru, Olinita Muguruki, and me, I also called you names. But at the end of the day, we are friends because there is no permanent enmity in politics. Raila deserved what he got, the burial he was given. Okay, let's say people were emotional in so many ways, but to the extent I know Raila, to the Kenyans who have seen Raila from the beginning to where he is now and how he has fought for this country, he has sacrificed. Raila was detained. He left his wife when he was 37 years old. And you had Oburu Odiga saying, even the wife also played a very big role in his life because if she was as hot as the ladies nowadays, she would not have stayed faithfully to him all that time he was detained. So this gentleman really sacrificed for this country. And Raila meant very good for this country. Raila was not a corrupt leader. He meant sure, or he wanted to make sure, every resource in this country is used to save and to make this country better. Right now, as we talk today, look at the Gen Zs. Where we are right now is a situation of where money as resources have been used badly. And this is Raila again. If Genesis, if this country's resources and the taxpayers' money was used the right way, today we will not be having the issues we have in Genesis with unemployment, and it's because of misuse of resources.
Yeah.
Raila believed in using the resources. Raila wanted this country to be what Malaysia is and what Singapore is. If you listen to the speech of the president yesterday, I listened to the speech of the president, His Excellency Dr. Samuel Ruto. The speech was so good. If you listen to that speech from the beginning to the end, it was so, if he really means what he said, saying that he's going to increase the megawatts, to increase from 4,000 to 10,000 so that we reduce the cost of the power, so that we can have industries running in this country and all that. That's very good. That is a very focused. And he said he wants to change this country to the first one. Good speech. But can you implement what you're saying? The only thing I didn't hear the president speak about is corruption. How is he going to do? What is he going to do about the corruption in this country? Actually, right now it's not corruption, it's looting. The looting going on in this country. There is no way you are going to achieve what he said if this country sits the way it's seated in terms of corruption and the looting which is happening in this country. And that is just the... But Raila deserved all the honors he was given. If people are being fake or not fake, at least Kenyans could see every Kenyan in this country really appreciated Raila.
But before we take a break, in under 1 minute, perhaps, then we'll circle back.
Yeah.
Did people just take it so normal that whatever he was doing was part and parcel of our lives? So there was nothing extra that we as Kenyans would see beyond the personality Raila Odinga. Right now that he's exited the stage, people are asking themselves, okay, so the Kenyan politics without Baba, how is it going to be?
Yeah, and Baba was a subject of people's elections in many parts of this republic.
What do you mean?
You had, in Nyanza, you had to just simply say that I am with Baba, I'm going to help Baba fight.
Yes, what Baba says, right, left on that.
And many people have been elected, many governors have been elected based just on that association with Raila. In Central, you had to make him the subject of your disdain. You basically just say, Raila, huyu ndiye nyoka tutamuua. So long as you say you're anti-Raila and then you're elected. There are people who hated Raila in death and they continue to hate him even when, while he was alive, and they continue to hate him even now. In fact, some of them could even be present in the studio. The fact is that as a political leader, you win both enemies and friends, sometimes in equal measure or sometimes on different percentages. The hypocrisy around Raila's death, for me, still baffles me, because those who are mourning Raila, the loudest, are the people who hated it for the biggest chunk of the interactions with Raila while he was alive. But to answer your question, as a society, do we really take it, is it just for granted that we had Raila, now he's gone and we are mourning him?
Yeah.
It is a representation of who we are. We like bad people, we like thieves because thieves give us money. We used to say that Raila never gives us, but actually he used to give, but it was a fundamental principle in his life that you do not announce what he has given. And many people have come out to say how Raila changed their lives and even paid their school fees.
Okay.
So I think he deserves an honor.
We take a quick break. I want to refill your cups.
Yeah.
Okay. And when I come back, I want to still talk about the Kenya policy without him. And of course, there are talks. DG, there are talks on how it's going to be and what is Wiper saying. I know Mheshimiwa Kalonzo Musyoka is one gentleman who is hurt and he's been calling himself a brother to Raila Odinga for long. We'll talk about that when we come back. Stay with us. You know, Gilbert Aweno is a communication expert. So Gilbert, there's a statement you've made that there are people who are in studio.
Let's continue. Let's continue.
You are at governors and
I think it was
the DJ.
I wanted to take that one, but it's fine. Okay, so DG, allow me to come back to you now. So the question that I asked, and this one, all of you, perhaps we just took it so normal, Baba being around, you know, but at some point he went quiet. After the MOU with President William Ruto, he went quiet, and people would hear the loud silence in Baba's voice after the MOU, if you understand what I mean. And at some point people were asking themselves, where is Baba? this is happening, but Baba is not speaking. Do you think, I don't know, but was it a tactic to prepare us that as Kenyans we need to survive even without me, you need to find and get a way to survive without my voice? And right now we are now coming to terms that yes, the silence is going to be more loud than what we expected, but are we getting a lesson on how to survive without him? Politics without Baba. That's what I'm talking about.
First, thank you. Allow me to make 2 comments, then I come to your question.
Go ahead.
Political life post Raila Odinga. The first thing is what my good friend, long-time friend has said, Moya, has said of a very good speech yesterday. I think every Kenyan, every sensible Kenyan, not sycophant, not political sycophants, any Kenyan will say, way back in 2013, we used to hear those speeches with the water stadium. Kenyans, now almost 15 years, can also recall those statements. Those speeches have been there. There is what has been promised over the time. And there is something else, and this is very, 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 very critical. At the international stage, we have been talking about SDGs as part of development. Out of that, Kenya, we developed a strategy for economic recovery and wealth creation under President Kibaki, which later graduated and we developed Vision 2030 for the country to transform. I think this vision, every time national politicians want to allow Kenyans to follow them, we start talking about Asian tigers, Singapore, Malaysia, how South Korea we were with them, even now we aided them. Under which strategy? Because nobody in this country is telling us the status of Vision 2030. In fact, I don't think anybody knows what we are implementing currently. So when we stand in a public podium and start articulating this, saying this, is it not left where you are speaking from? Because we must have a basis. We must have a program in place to follow through, to track through. These professionals here,
strategic
these professionals are high-learned people in society. It is not, we don't listen to what Victor you say, but what is this you are basing your argument on? Post Vision 2030, what does Kenya as blueprint for development going forward to make it be or surpass those economic tigers or developed world on earth? We must have basis. Currently, zero. Now, to your question of post Raila Odinga, already politics started, and I saw it during his funeral. Look at the different speakers and how they were chosen to speak. And even before I go there, we had allies who, for many years, have stood with Raila. His Excellency Dr. Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka is one of them. When we felt as a country Kalonzo was mistreated to succeed Kibaki, we said, well, I and Moya and the rest of the groups here, we said, from where I come from, we said we will mix githeri and fish na tutakula. And that's what we did until the last day of Raila on earth. So, what we saw during the 72 hours of his preparation to be sent off, some of us did not like. Even the last person to be running mate for Raila, Martha Karua, was just being recognized. People who were known to be allies of Raila for respect for human rights. People who are known to share ideals, political ideals, political allies. We expected something different. But because somebody sat somewhere and planned how these things should go, how everything should be taken to the end, how they should take advantage of the whole thing, we saw what we saw. But I think post-Raila Odinga, already I saw something. And I think the last statement of Raila Odinga, which was in public domain, he might have called people, as they were saying. But what Kenyans know was, who told you ODM will not have a candidate in 2027? Because we have seen some people rushing and making some pronouncements. He was cautioning them. So I think post-Raila Odinga, we are likely to see realignment. And I think Kenyans are united in certain accord. The other day, not so long ago, I was sent to represent my boss somewhere in Kisii. This is my last sentence. And on our way and on our way back, we were making stops in Bomet, Kericho, somewhere. And I was surprised. This business of one term is a serious thing in this country. I'm telling you, it is a serious, serious business. And what political class we might think up here, we might be shocked come 2027.
Okay.
And this one term, don't think it is at the top. I don't think it is at the top only. So in this case, I want to say there is going to be, obviously, there is those who are known to be allies. There is those who will think otherwise. And to be very bold. We know there is the current UDA, Kenya Kwanza, ODM. I don't know how it will hold. Because from what I saw during the speeches I saw, there are those who are for it, and there are those who are saying, wait a minute, we should be busy thinking about ODM in the next election as an entity. And that, it takes a lot of convincing for somebody to be brought fully to this so-called broad-based government.
Okay.
Yes.
Dr.
Victor, there are two things that come to mind quickly. Now, let us stop the politics to the organs and the ODM members. What do we know as a nation? Because we don't want to be told like we are going into the kitchen of ODM to try to analyze them.
Yeah.
What we know, the 10-point agenda is being reviewed in March next year, when it's going to have the first anniversary. And I can tell you today, it will get like 1 or 2 out of 10. So that is a 10-point agenda as far as what we know, going one by one point. So it will fail the test. So number two, there is something we learned yesterday during the funeral. They called the last studying instructions. Everybody have their own list of the studying instructions from Raila. Between the whip, between the whip, Wanga, and Sifuna. The Wanga one was, Raila said we must stay in broad-based all the way to 2027 going forward. And Sifuna was very clear. ODM must play its part and have a presidential candidate. In short, the broad-based arrangement is not supposed to go into the elections. Those are the two study instructions we saw. Now, what I can tell you, I've been saying here, and this is for a fact, Raila made sure that he has 2 troops in different camps. Okay? One in government, made up of Wanga, Midio Diambo, the 4 experts. And please, next time, for the respect for something called experts, you know, when you say you are an expert, you must go to school and study and have experience in certain area. The 4 CSAs, they were there politically. They were donated politically. Let's stop this word about experts. That's my opinion. So they are there on that camp. Then there is a camp Raila made sure they are in the opposition. I want to say this today because we are analyzing Raila, who was a nationalist. He made sure Sifuna, and Sifuna, if you had him speak, even before death, he would say, Baba, you told me. Baba, you told me. See that there. And Baba would say, by the way, the official spokesman is Sifuna. Come on, there's no way you are going to hold an SG position in ODM if you are not in sync with Baba. So Sifuna, Babu Owino, and such people was systematically being there. I can tell you that today. The wing that will win is a Babu Sifuna wing, which is with the people. Baba didn't want to find himself where he was humiliated in 2022 by not listening to the ground. So I can tell you today here, and who started all these things? There's somebody who mentioned about listening to the ground. You know, you thought that listening to the ground. Also, somebody else mentioned about listening to the ground. It is not our issue. It was not a DCP. It's not Gachagua who came up with it. It is in the universe. It's in the air. The issue of listening to the ground. Somebody said there that you must listen to the ground. So I can tell you in a nutshell, the wing that will win is the wing of Sifuna Babu Owino. That is the wing that will win going forward. You'll see a big split. The people who are in government today, Sifuna is a lawyer, so to say. So he was speaking in the stronghold of Luo, and he was celebrated. Good to say Kalonzo was celebrated, because people know the kind of torture Kalonzo has gone through in the house of Raila. From 2013 to 2017, he was made to go to an interview which he failed in 2022. Yeah. You can see the local people know that. And I can tell you, Kalonzo will get a lot of, if he becomes the presidential for opposition, he will get a lot of votes there. But allow me, therefore, to quickly tie that with the new planned post rider that was announced yesterday. I can tell you this today. I have been there. We know what we know. There is nothing like a new plan. The president 2 years ago said he wants a shoe. He pointed at a goat in Laikipia. He said, I want that goat to be caught, the skin to be done, and I want to wear a shoe made in Kenya. That was 2 years ago. You cannot make another promise during your 4th year. It's not possible. We were there when we did county aggregation industrial parks. We launched 17 of them. They were supposed by now by now you should be able to be seen smoke in 47 counties. It's not there. You cannot come and repledge again during your 4th year. It's not going to be possible. Before, there were 100 dams. I was shocked they have been cut to 50. None has started. Out of the 100 that were there in the poll. So this is, and you could see the kind of pledges, the billions that were put in there, all for the fear of Kalonzo. That's why all that was being done. In short, I can tell you, and stop the issue of Singapore. Do you know what happens in Singapore and Korea? Anybody caught in corruption, they are killed. Are we ready to do that today? So I can begin talking about Singapore and Korea? It's not possible. So all that you had yesterday is not going to happen. We are in the 4th year. Delivery and performance starts the 1st year. By 2nd year, the plane should be in the air. It's no longer there. It's not going to happen. Ask me, because I'm an expert on delivery. That one I can tell you.
Of course, you are in the government delivery unit.
I know a few things. Actually, in the phone here, I can show you all those projects. They're supposed to be done before.
You'll tell us more after the show. Okay. Gilbert, when you look at all these things, the fissures, the cracks that Chad is trying to talk about, of course, there has been that kind of conversation right now. Yeah. But it seems that Raila's name is still going to be called posthumously. He said that, he did not say this. He said that. So, are we seeing a situation where he's not going to leave the stage yet?
Raila will stay in the stage for a while. Everybody narrates the experience they have, the instructions that Raila gave them before he died. But I think this was his modus operandi. He had an individualized interaction with each and every person who was in his camp. And I think he was true to what polygamy dictates, that when you meet wife number 3, you speak to her like number 1 and 2 do not exist. I think that Raila, as a politician, knew that I don't have to disagree with you when I know that the ultimate power rests with me. So he would talk to you at your level and does not agree with you. He'll talk to Daktari here, he will talk to each and everyone, and then, but ultimately, a story is told that Raila would ask everyone for their opinions and he would speak and he just keeps quiet. Then ultimately he'll tell you, gentlemen, this is what we are doing. So we will continue to hear those fragments of instruction that they got, but they really cannot be taken to be Raila's ultimate command of what he actually wanted. He knew in his heart what he actually wanted to do. Post-Raila, I see that there's going to be an attempt and 96% chance that Ruto will succeed in swallowing ODM, because you see he began it on day 1 when he said that he is not going to allow ODM to run in the hands of some people who wanted to basically just kill it. And you ask yourself, in what capacity is he speaking? He says he's a founding member of ODM. And everybody else is also a founder member of KANU, if that is what we can claim.
Talk of a KANU member.
I mean, when Kenya was a single-party state. And you will see that the bravado of characters who are impressed by the state trappings would continue to go to Ruto's side and enjoy the sweet side of government. But on the other hand, Raila's absence has created an opportunity for people who could give service to Wananchi, but Wananchi would reject them because they felt that if you are not with Raila, then what are you going to tell us? So a lot of Ruto actually is the person who has lost greatly by Raila's death, because the votes that he was hoping that he would inherit, certainly we are going to see those votes going with the voices of Sifuna, going with the voices of Babu, and a few also remaining with the voices of people who still want to be there. Sadly, on the other side, I must also caution them that unless they also begin to show the Wananchi that this is for us for the taking, I have seen there has been fragmentations of information around what the other side really can do to Kenyans. Yeah. And they are missing out on the opportunity to come out and say, this is our voice. So I hope they have an opportunity to come together, because if they do not come together, the person they are dealing with is a politician who does not sleep. But we hope that things will be...
Okay, we hope that things are going to be better. But then, Mike, also, most of them are students of KANU. Raila Odinga being, most of the politicians have been in KANU, including Raila Odinga.
What you are pointing at us.
No, not really. Yeah. But the ideologies that he stood for, he has learned it from independence, up to this point, the liberations, we have the 2010 constitution. In almost every corner of this world, you'll hear Raila's name called this and that, this and that. But that on aside, let me ask you this question. Now, how different is it going to be, the way we are going to call politics? Because in politics, you have to get one big giant and vilify it, and you're good to go. But how is it going to be so different? Who are we going to attack, or who are they going to attack?
One thing I can say is it's not going to be different. I'm a member of KANU even today. And I know we had Moi as our president. After Moi left, KANU died, somehow. And that is where you ended up with other parties.
Yes.
Raila, unfortunately, is the president this country didn't have. Raila was the kingpin of ODM. I think without ODM is never going to be the same again. That is for sure. ODM will never be the same again without Raila. And I don't think there is anybody in ODM who can fit in the shoes of Raila. So there will be that problem, and now you can see already there are two sides. There is Bobby Owino, there is Sifuna, there is also Orengo. Not very decided, but Orengo is more to the side of Sifuna. KANU had the same issue. Now today, as we talk, and that is when Moi appointed Uhuru to be the head of KANU, yet people like Kalonzo were seated better than Uhuru, even Mudavadi. And then KANU lost the elections in 2002. That is the first time I ran as a member of parliament. And I also lost because of when Kalonzo left KANU, KANU died in Nukambani. And this is likely to happen in ODM. If some of these very strong leaders now, the one you're talking about, Bobby Owino, if by any chance they are pushed out of ODM, they wouldn't go alone.
Who are the strong members of KANU then? Who exited and KANU collapsed?
Kalonzo was one of them.
Saitoti.
There were quite a number.
Odinga himself.
Yes. Yeah.
He was SG.
Yeah, so like Ukambani was KANU. Was the time Kalonzo left and went to NAC, when Raila said Kibaki Tosha, they all left.
Yes.
They all left. People started leaving, and now Uhuru was left alone. But he tried, and then...
Fast forward to ODM now.
Yeah. So ODM is going to go through the same problem for some time. Maybe after about 10 years, ODM will come back again strong because they'll learn out of what has happened. And then somebody will fit into Raila. But it is going to be almost quite impossible to fit in the shoes of Raila and run ODM the way Raila single-handedly was able to manage ODM. And one thing about ODM is a very strong party because it's over the country. If you look at all the section, Kisii, you go to Mombasa, you go to Northeastern, ODM He's spoken about almost everything. And they are very strong leaders. But are those leaders going to stick with ODM? No. Most of them are going to come this coming election. And now Ruto is here coming and sitting down and saying, okay, I'm going to take over ODM. Then recently, I'm a member of KANU. No, my chairman also went.
He did say that for the record. He did say that for the record.
Yeah. So now, Gideon Moi is my chairman in KANU. Gideon Moi, there is something going on, though he has not spoken to us as members. The Secretary General of KANU Machakos, appointed, not yet elected, but he has not told us as KANU members if we are moving to the broad-based government or not. We are yet to hear what he said. We are still KANU. And KANU was very pro-Kalonzo and Wiper. KANU has always been supporting Kalonzo last elections because of Azimio. We were all in Azimio, and I even ran as a member of parliament for Kangundo. But under Azimio. And the last rally we had for Raila was in Machakos, and I even had an opportunity to speak in front of Baba to the crowd and ask for Siasa. That was the last rally we had in Machakos Stadium. The last rally we had for Raila, so that now we go to election. So ODM post Raila, it's going to be a different.
I think this is what you're saying. No, it's good to clarify. I think what the president said, he will not allow anybody to take ODM to opposition.
Exactly.
Now, people are asking, in what capacity? Now, what we are saying, he may not have said it, but let me tell you, in this political gymnastics we have seen for the last 20 years,
you cannot assume.
We cannot assume that the president will not run on ODM. That's number one. But number two, me, I don't wish ODM to die. Let's give it to him. We have people like Ida Odinga, very sober voices. We have people like Dr. Oburu. What we are hoping, and the prayer is, they will listen to the people. If the people want them to go to the opposition, they go. Let's be black and white. That's what Sivona said. We are going to listen more to you. If the people, so the direction ODM party takes is what will determine whether it will remain alive or whether it is split. It all depends on the decision they are going. We can hope that they can take the decision.
Okay, true. DG, because you have got like only 2 minutes to wind up, but the question is directly, when you see Kalonzo Musyoka's face, I don't know whether you've met him ever since he came back. What is his feeling? Of course, he's hurting, he's still mourning. But now moving forward, what is in his mind, based on his long relationship with Honorable Raila Odinga, and with all these kind of voices we are hearing between who is going to be where in ODM next election, and Osotsi also saying that the 10-point agenda is the only glue that is sticking the two parties together?
His Excellency Kalonzo Musyoka has really lost a friend. Let me disclose here, even at the height of whether ODM was in, before they confirmed they are with Ruto, even then, almost every 24 hours, these are great friends who were talking. Even after he confirmed, even after signing that 10-point agenda and the working relationship and the donation of the so-called experts, these are leaders who are in constant communication. And it was really affected because we had almost over 10 days engagement with the diaspora across Europe. And he had to cut short that trip to come back to honor Raila, only to be frustrated by the team at Nyayo, and I think they felt shame in his funeral that somehow he was recognized. You remember at Nyayo Stadium, they almost forgot he exists. It came as an afterthought. We also have. And we took note. So I think he has lost. And then they allow me, Victor, to comment on something, 2 issues. One is ODM in this new dispensation and what happened in Kitui yesterday. First, the President of the Republic of Kenya can go anywhere, can visit anywhere, can do development anywhere. But are you aware what he articulated, it is only 1 or 2 items out of all that he articulated yesterday. all that is literally 90-95% is devolved. It's counties. Meaning, and I'm on record saying, UDA and Kenya Kwanza are a threat to devolution in Kenya. There is nowhere. There is nowhere. And when you hear the people speak, they are not talking about devolution. And this government, anything devolved, they are doing as though counties don't exist. That is my worry. Number two, allow me to speak unsolicitedly on the issue of going forward as far as ODM is concerned. I think the statement by the head of state that I will not allow tells a lot. All I want is, Baba, we knew he wanted a united ODM. Please sit down, talk, and a united ODM is good for this country, is good for democracy, is going. However, let them be careful. He might, UDA and Kenya Kwanza might swallow some selected ODM leaders, but not the people. Listen to people. Listen to these people. I hear even some of UDA adherents and followers calling for the suspension, removal of the Secretary General of ODM. Yet they are in a different party. It is dangerous. Let them try. You might try and you chase away everybody and it becomes a communal thing. From a national, continental, political movement, you reduce it to a shell. Okay. Because of not listening to members, not listening to the wishes of the majority.
All right. Allow me to listen to the wish of my director. He says that time is up. That's my director, and I also have to listen to the people. I mean, time flies so fast, and I wish we had more time. But let me just read what Ososi said yesterday. He posted and said, he's the senator of Vihiga, that the 10 points agenda that are contained in the MOU that was signed by Barbara Ludinga and President William Ruto is the only glue that puts the broad-based government together and should be implemented. You're the one who said that? Yes, should be implemented. So let's all hope and pray that we'll be here by March next year and we can have the same discussion in good health. Gentlemen, thank you so much for coming. Deputy Governor, Machakos County, Francis Mwangangi, Honorable, thank you so much, sir, for always making time. And of course, Gilbert Aweno, Strategic Communications Expert, is also a wakil by profession. If you need some legal help, he's here. He'll help you. As well as Dr. Mbai, he's the Secretary Planning and Economic Affairs, DCP. And Michael Muya, asante sana for coming.
Yeah. I'm a graduate in economics. So
thank you. Asante sana. We are taking a break and we come back. We are heading straight. Oh, we head straight to the radio. 20 radio. To know what's happening on the other side. Thank you for joining us. I'm Victor. Good morning.